We're thrilled to bring you some of these mysteries. And speaking of mystery, we have a man of mystery with us tonight who has graced our stage every time we have done this. Many times before. He is part prophet, part non-prophet, a soothsayer, a sage, a psychic advisor, a campaign advisor for Donald Trump. Please welcome the all-knowing and the all-seeing, it's the mystic, Carnac, the Magnificent! Oh! Yes, oh, be careful! Careful, Carnac.
Sorry, yes.
There you go. All right. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
1,000 blessings on you and your household.
Thank you, Dan Harlan.
Yes, I hold in my hands the envelopes. As any child of 4 can plainly see, these envelopes are hermetically sealed. They have been kept in a mayonnaise jar on John Stetson's porch since noon today.
Stetson.
Yes.
Mentalist.
Indeed. No one knows the contents. But you, in your amazing and borderline mystical way, will ascertain the answers without ever before seeing the questions.
Yes, I shall attempt to do that. Yes. And may Kyle Marlette never octopalm your nutsack.
I have it here.
Yes.
It's safe. It's very safe.
Thank you.
The first.
1,000 blessings on you.
The first envelope.
The first envelope. I will define the answer without ever before seeing the question.
That's what I said.
Yes. Assy wind.
Assy wind.
Assy
wind.
What's another name for a mentalist fart?
Very nice. Yeah, we've gotten that out of the way.
Yes. Gozinta box.
Yes, Gozinta box.
Gozinta box.
Gozinta box. Famous.
Carnac having
with
problem
blowing.
with blowjob. How does Jonathan Pendragon start the sub-trunk?
Well, yeah, there's, nothing dirty about that. He goes into the box. It's fine. It's fine. Here you go.
Sean Nearquar.
Sean Nearquar.
Sean Nearquar. Who lives closer than Sean Farquhar?
Yeah. Near? Far. Yeah.
May Kevin James give your sister a white Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Mount Baldy.
Mount Baldy.
Mount Baldy. What do you do before getting a piggyback ride from Danny Garcia?
Oh, yeah. It's more like ball. Yeah.
May the ghost of Fred Capps give you a Dutch oven in the night.
What? That doesn't even.
What? He's Dutch.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right. I forgot he was.
He's fucking asshole.
Oh!
Okay, good. All right.
No, I know. It's fine.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Bambi, the White House grounds, and Masters of Illusion Live.
Okay. Bambi.
The
White House grounds.
The White House grounds.
Masters of
Illusion Live. Name a fawn, a lawn, and a yawn. Thank you. No, it's later. We changed it. Okay, we changed it.
Changed it. Save that.
Right?
Yeah.
The Zero
Shuffle.
The Zero Shuffle. What would be a really boring line dance? May a diseased penguin take a shit in your egg bag. All right. A frog in your throat.
Frog in your throat.
A frog in your throat.
Frog in your throat. What's going on?
Silence, please. What would you get if you made out with David Blaine? Frog in your throat. Optical illusion.
Optical illusion.
Optical illusion. What do you call an Eskimo eye doctor?
Illusion. 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 No, go. Throw it down.
Optical illusion. May the amazing Randy debunk your mother-in-law. All right. There we go. Let's see. Okay. Grab him by the pussy.
Wait, what? What did you say?
Grab him by the pussy.
All right, I'll repeat it. Grab him by the pussy.
Grab him by the pussy.
Grab him by the pussy.
How do you tell someone to get your car keys you left sitting next to Chris Angel?
You're right, sir.
Grab him by the pussy. Grab him by the... Okay. A lot of Chris Angel fans tonight.
I guess. I don't know.
Yes. Thank you. Harry Lorraine. Harry Lorraine. Who was that aunt you never wanted to kiss at Thanksgiving?
Oh, Aunt Lorraine. Yeah.
Harry
Lorraine.
Lorraine.
Yes, of course. Right.
Thank you. Carnac in tank tonight.
No. We've got these.
We've got some more.
Oh, yeah, we
Yes.
saved these.
Carnac going down to shitter. It's okay. Here we go.
We worked this
The
out.
question, I will divine the question without ever knowing the answer.
No, give us these will work. These will work.
Hocus pocus.
Hocus pocus.
Hocus pocus. What did the two horny twins say to Mr. Hocus? That's a good one. All right. Okay, Carnac redeemed himself with that bit. Okay. SAM, IBM, and UCLA.
Oh, SAM?
SAM, IBM, and UCLA. How do you spell sembicula?
I hold in my hands
Yes.
the last envelope.
Yes.
Yes.
May Rick Lax push your sister's like button. Luber Fiedler.
Luber Fiedler.
Luber Fiedler.
Yep. Luber
Yes.
Fiedler. Yep.
What do you do if your girlfriend's Fiedler is too tight? Thank you.
Yes. Sim Sullivan.
Hello out there, everyone in Facebook land and YouTube. My name is Eric Tate alongside Nick Lacapo. And Nick, I don't think that you're in your normal studio right now.
Where am I?
Is that?
No, I am not. I am definitely not.
No, and as a matter of fact, people at home might be noticing that I'm not in my normal at-home studio. We are here at the Mystique Dining Lounge and the Prestige Parlor in Salt Lake City, Utah. This is fantastic.
I know they handed us over the key. They just let us in. We're gonna have a party in here a little bit later. So come on by.
Yeah, you've actually been out here performing all week in Salt Lake City, doing some great shows. Very safe. I know that you've got like sanitizer. A lot of the tricks are sort of in one. You're wearing a mask while you're doing it. I'm going to be performing next week. It's really great. It's really a good time.
Yeah, there's even these great like plexiglass dividers and stuff out here. It's been a real interesting venture into like performing again. Learned a whole lot, and it's been a nice challenge. My brain needed it, man, big time.
Yeah,
but it's been a blast. Yeah,
and it's really exciting that we get to do this show on the road because right now we're literally working out of 2 backpacks doing the Coolbox Live. So I think the big takeaway for you guys watching at home on YouTube and Facebook is Nick and I can do this anywhere. So I got a lot of people coming in over here on Facebook. I saw Ling Lee is joining us here on Facebook. Always great to see Ling. Looks like we got John Custer is watching. John Custer says hello from mid-Michigan. Then we've also got J.W. Wenberg says, how can you follow that act? That act is actually something we're going to be talking about tonight. That is from the what is that? It's the Christmas special.
It's the holiday
right?
special. Yeah, the Christmas special. Before, yeah, we're going to be talking about it a little bit later. Yeah,
and we got Joel Spence joining us all the way from Australia. This is fantastic. So tonight's going to be a good show. Do you want to jump right into the massive magical savings?
Yeah, sure. Well, there's a couple of people on YouTube. Well, might as well just say hello to our regulars there: John Green, Ken Gross, and Dennis Gringus. They're all hanging out in the chat over here as well. But yes, special thanks to Terry Commons as well, the owner of Mystique and Prestige Dining. We'll probably tell you a little bit more about the venue as we go along here tonight. Yeah, we'll just get to the savings.
Yeah, let's get to the savings. The first one that we're going to be talking about, and you and I are going to talk about this a lot later, and we might even show a performance, a little bit of performance of it. But this is Paul Gertner live from Penguin Magic. This is a 3.5-hour lecture where Paul Gertner tips basically all of the work. And in fact, I think 2 of the routines in this he performed on Fool Us. One of them is Unshuffled, which you actually see in the right there between us, and the other one he tips is the Silver and Steel, the cups and balls set with the ball bearings, which is just amazing.
Yeah, that blew me away when I first saw it. But the reason why it's at the top of the show, right, is because if you go to penguinmagic.com, which is where Eric and I work, and you head on the front page, there's a little feature called the Coolbox. Now, right now, Paul Gertner Live is in the Coolbox. Eric, did we check if it's sold out?
Oh, I don't know if no. We didn't check to see if it was sold out. Let me. Why don't you talk a little bit,
I'll
talk more
about it. So basically, the title of this show is the Coolbox, and it's modeled after the one little section on our website where every day we have a new deal in the Coolbox. It's just like a percentage discount off of various magic tricks. Today, Paul Gertner is in the Coolbox. But because you're watching this show, we give savings on everything we talk about. Not only are you going to save, I think it's already half off in the Coolbox.
Yeah,
so from 30 to 15.
It's already $15, and I have to say this is becoming a thing. We're going to have to figure out how to fix this. It's already sold out. Already sold out for the day, which is just crazy. Because I think what's happening is people at home are hip to this, so they know that if you enter the promo code Coolbox Live at checkout, then you're going to get an additional 25% off of what's in the Coolbox on the day of the show. And we always put a really cool lecture or other sort of high dollar product in there. And it looks like Mark Tutulio is already chiming in here, saying sold out on the Coolbox for today. It's nuts. I think people are hip to this. They know we got to change our tactics, Nick, so we can keep saving.
Yeah, we got to get like more of them. I don't even know what that number is. So and I guarantee nobody's thought about it for quite a while. So we'll do some investigation into that.
But it's still $15.
It's still $15, right?
Yeah, it's still 15. It's still $15, which is awesome. Well, it's not $15. It's only 15.
Oh
bucks.
no,
It's
it
in
would
the
be
Coolbox.
like 22 something.
Yeah, it's like
it's 22.71.
$22, $23, which is a great price for this lecture because he teaches there's some really really great card tricks, a phenomenal coin trick. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. I think we should probably move on to something to the next one. I believe we should talk about, which is.
It's the double Charlier false cut by Christopher Wheel.
It is the double Charlier false cut.
Yeah, and at the top of the show here, we're just trying to give you the biggest discounts. And the reason why we bring up Christopher Wheel, we have week after week here, is that about a decade ago at this point, Christopher put out a series of free tricks that you can get on Penguin. And this is one of them. You can see it right here in the center of the screen. Yeah. This is a false cut that Christopher uses, a double Charlier false cut. And, I mean, you might be able to just watch it here and kind of follow along, or you might as well just head over to penguinmagic.com, search for the trick, and then add it to your cart because it's completely free. And, you do need an account on Penguin Magic, but, you don't have to do anything special. You don't have to even put a credit card in. It just goes $0 into your cart, you hit checkout, and now it's on your account.
And I really like this particular false cut. I think it's rather pretty. It's very deceptive. I think if you do this, even magicians are going to sort of, think that is a cut. Magicians may suspect that there's some packets that are staying in the same, that you're keeping some order, but it doesn't look like a full blind cut, which is really nice. But it's still pretty and nice and not terribly complex.
Yeah, it's something different.
I mean,
it's always good to know a bunch of false cuts, right?
Totally agree. I've got more false cuts than I know what to do with. But let's move on.
And this it is in the hands too, which is something that you can also consider. And what do you think about those Dan and Dave cards?
I love those. So I have a set of those Dan and Dave cards on the infamous rack on my wall. I love those cards. Dan and Dave made some really really great cards. They still make really great cards. It's really cool. But everyone should go check this out. Let's move on to the download discounts here, and this is I'm very excited about some of the stuff that we have coming up to talk to you about, especially the first one. The first one that we're going to be talking about is called Delirium by Oz Perlman. This is a really, really phenomenal thing. You're going to watch a little bit of a performance here between us. And essentially what this is you have 4 cards that can be like aces or deuces. I think he's using deuces in this particular performance. And then he takes out any court card. That court card goes onto the table. He picks up the deuces, shows you that they're all there, gives a magical gesture, and then one of those twos transforms into the queen that was placed on the table right there. Then you can turn over that queen, and it has magically changed places with the deuces. It's really, really good. Essentially what this is it's a packet transposition. I'm sorry, and I'm actually just looking at this video right here. First, the card turns face down, then it transforms into the queen, which is really nice. I remember buying this, I want to say, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when I was an early Penguin customer, and I remember doing this trick a lot, and now, watching it again for this show, I think I'm definitely going to pick this one back up because this is a really nice transposition. There's no special gimmicks. You definitely have everything at home that you need to do this. It's just all in all a really solid effect.
Yeah, so I've really enjoyed looking at all these kind of older O's downloads and things, mostly because these. I just don't see any card tricks like this anymore. These are the things that I used to pile up in my head because you really. I mean, this one you're using, a couple extra cards. Is that fair to say here? Yeah,
there's without giving too much away, there are some extra cards in play, but you are learning.
But nothing that. You're just learning the handling.
Yeah, you're really learning a handling, and you're learning some extra moves that are super useful. Nothing too terribly difficult because let's also remember this is early days of Penguin. Oz wasn't teaching one-handed Macmillan turnovers or octopus palm stuff or anything like that.
No.
This is all stuff that's well within anybody's skill level.
No, these are the tricks that you want to pile up in your head, right? Because you just pick up a deck and do it. And I mean, you can't pick up any deck and do this trick, but the decks that I would prepare and walk around with, I have extra cards in my deck.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Almost always, because those are always the tricks that are some of the strongest. And we should just mention here, Eric, it's $3.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's already an inexpensive trick, but when you enter the promo code Coolbox Live at checkout, you're going to get an additional 25% off. So for $3 for a really solid transposition with very few false moves, it's
a great trick.
Yeah.
It's a really strong trick, and it's, I mean, for $3, man.
Yeah,
you probably paid 15 when you bought it back in I don't know, 04.
Yeah, like I vividly remember, like I think I was even in high school, so I had to do something silly where I was like borrowing something from my parents, some money from my parents or something. But it was well worth it because I did the trick all the time. Shall we move on?
Let's move on. Let's move on to the next one up is Cellophane by Dan Huffman. This is a crazy visual trick, and essentially what happens is you're going to burn a little hole in the cellophane on your card box, and you're going to be able to show the spectators this cool little burnt out hole. I'm sure we're probably seeing a clip of it here. And then just with a snap, that hole just completely vanishes and heals itself. So it's I guess you could say it vanishes, but I guess the effect is really that it heals itself. And it looks like a camera trick. It really does.
It looks so
the
good.
Way that, the way it's looking on this camera right now, the clip is exactly what it looks like in real life. One little side note here, Eric, in making this, I don't know if you've changed the bottom slide yet. Go ahead and change the bottom slide.
I'm working on changing it right now.
Okay, because I discovered something with this. The trick, by the way, I'll talk about the trick a little bit more, and I'll tell you about this. It's kind of funny. So the trick is simple. It's one of the easiest tricks that you could do. And this would be a great trick to do on Instagram if you're putting together, some social media clips to share with your friends. This is a great trick for that. What is it? I don't know what the cost is on this because I don't quite have the slide up yet, but it's visual and simple to do. Where's that slide? Do you get it yet?
Yeah, I got it. I'm bringing it right now.
So Dan Huffman, who was a great
it's
great creator.
It's $748 after discount.
$748.
Yeah.
$748. Well, it was created by Dan Huffman, who was a great creator from Michigan. He used to come down to the studio a lot with I never know to call him Patrick Redford or George Tate. I have no idea. Come up with him
we'll call him Patrick Redford on here. There's too many Tates already on this.
Yeah, unfortunately, we lost Dan a few years ago.
Yeah.
He was a great creator of magic. But the funny thing I noticed about this is Brent Braun, who loves this trick, by the way. This is one of Brent's. Brent used to do this trick all the time. But I was looking for the Dan Huffman Magitar, so to make that little slide that's below us here. And it was literally, that was the Dan Huffman Magitar. It said Dan Huffman, but it's clearly Brent Braun. So I've discovered a secret Brent Braun Magitar. Right? So I'll send it to, nobody knew that one until now. So
I love that there is a secret Brent Braun Magitar.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
This trick is so good. I really, really like it. And I wasn't around with the team when it came out, but I do remember when it came out. And just this whole the idea of being able to burn cellophane and then heal it was a really, really powerful idea for me because plastic is sort of it's in our lives all the time. We always are constantly interacting with plastic, and so everyone knows the smell of burning plastic and the various things that it does, and that you can't repair it. There's just short of special tools, you can't repair it. So there's something really permanent about damaging it, and then just something super magical about healing it. I love it. It's fantastic.
And the method's just great. It's super easy. Make sure you can head over to penguinmagic.com if you're just joining us, and you can save 25% off this download by entering promo code Coolbox Live on the checkout, and along with everything else that we're going to be talking about here today.
All right,
let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on to the next trick here. And come on, are we gonna? Yep. Here we go. This is a fantastic trick. This is LJCP by Luke Germain, and I'm very stoked to talk about this trick because what this is you put out, you bring out a deck of cards, you shuffle it, you take your wallet out, you show that there's money inside of your wallet, and then you say there's a prediction, and you've got this, and you say I'm going to predict the card that you are going to stop at, and I'm going to do it with 100% accuracy. And if you if I'm incorrect, you can keep all of the money or all of the contents of my wallet. And you start dealing cards through the shuffle deck, and they say stop anywhere they want, and lo and behold, they stop at the card that you predicted. This is really interesting. I don't want to give away. I don't want to shout the method out too loud, because I think that there's a lot of magicians who are watching this and they could know exactly what's going on. But the real, there's a real value here in getting tuition on this type of method from Luc Germain. That's what I really wanted to bring up here, is because Luc Germain is he's one of those cats who's like worked with all of the really common mentalism methods and then turned them into something that is just unbelievable. Like you when you watch this, because of the routing that Luc is using, you would say to yourself, oh, I had no idea that it was that method. I guess, I have to be cagey here, because
Sure.
just telling you like straight out the method is disingenuous to this trick, because you get so much. I mean, like, how many times have you learned something from Luc Germain and then just been like, oh man, that's crazy, that's insane.
Literally every time. Yeah, we keep coming across these downloads on this show. You can go back and look at older shows if you want. There's Luc Germain stuff everywhere. This little era where he was filming and teaching things, downloads for Penguin, there's a lot of gold, and this is no exception. Luc has just always been a phenomenal teacher, I guess. And, I can't really think of anybody that there's certain guys that I like to learn mentalism from, and he is certainly on that list, right? And this is just no different. It's a great trick. I love Luc's card tricks. I really do.
Oh, they're all really, really good. I really like what Luc brings to the party with some of these. I'm just seeing in the chat here that Mark Tutulio is saying that my camera feed was frozen. Yes, my camera feed was frozen for a little bit. I was able to fix it, but just as an FYI, if you're joining us late, Nick and I are broadcasting live tonight from the Mystique Dining Lounge in Salt Lake City. We're broadcasting remotely, so we may have a couple of technical issues tonight because we've never done this before. We think that everything is going to be going well, but we've never broadcast outside of our studio or our home studios, which we know are set up with some crazy stuff. And just again, we're here at the Mystique Dining Lounge, which is fantastic in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, tell them what happens in that room, Eric, and then later on I'll tell them what happens in this room.
Yeah, so I'm going to do my best to describe to you the room that I'm in, and maybe I'll when we're back in this double box here, I'll see if I can get you guys a slightly better picture. So what I'm in is a dinner theater right now. I'm actually sitting at a table at a place setting where people come in and they enjoy a 5-course meal. I think it is. Nick, you were here all week. It's a 5.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, I'm not even sure. Is it in the brochure?
Yeah, I think it is. It's an amazing meal that's well prepared by expert gourmet chefs. It's a phenomenal team here. But you have a 5-course meal, and then at the end of it, a magician comes out and performs. Let me see if I can do this without just like completely destroying the feed here. But do you see this this throne?
Look at that.
Yeah. So this throne, and you see this big bright red close-up pad. Yeah.
I'll hold this up here so you can see, like, that's our buddy Robert Ramirez standing right there at that throne doing a little magic show for the people at the table.
Yeah. So so let's see if I can turn this way so you can see the rest of the
Yeah, it's such a gorgeous room, right? Look at that.
Yeah. It's just amazing. And there's so you can see these I mean, you see it in these like giant thrones. There's another set of risers in the back. And so essentially what you see is the table is it's almost wedge shaped. What you couldn't tell from the video feed right here, but one of the things about the table is wider at the end where the performer is than where at the end of the table. So when everybody actually turns to look, I think it's actually in the brochure. Yeah, Nick's sort of showing it here. The table's wedge shaped, so nobody has an obscured vision. Like everyone can look down here. You don't have to you're not craning your neck around. Nick and I think Nick, this is your first time working Utah?
Yeah, he's got multiple venues. There's one in Folsom, California, which I've performed that many times. But this is my first time here in Salt Lake, yeah.
Yeah, this is my second time here in Salt Lake. I was at Folsom, California last year. And Nick and I really like this venue. It's really beautiful. It's
if you're anywhere near here, you gotta come, and you love Magic, you gotta come check this place out.
It's so good.
In support, because these are the venues that we're gonna really need going forward here.
Oh yeah. But like we've got Paul Vigil works here. Bob Sheets was here the week before Nick.
Yeah, Bob was here. Yeah, I was eating Bob's oatmeal yesterday. A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and they take really good care of their performers too. Nick and I are in a beautiful little condo where that's not too far from here. And Salt Lake City is a gorgeous city. I highly recommend it. So we're going to be doing some shows here this week. So that's why we're on remote. So if we have any technical issues, we're going to try and work through those. But LJCP, really, really, really solid trick that I think everyone should do their best to check out. Nick, let's move on to the Christmas deck.
Yeah, we threw it in the instant downloads, but really this is a deck of cards that's on sale, and it's the Christmas deck by I've never met this lady, Natalia Silva. I'm assuming that's how you say her name.
She's behind a lot of decks.
Yeah, I got to imagine she's been to Magic Live or something like that.
Yeah.
But she's designed a bunch of decks. I'm not quite sure what her, I'm only ever talking about her for the first time ever here, right? I'd love to actually know a little bit more about her because I think she's actually designed a lot of great decks. Anyway, this is a Christmas deck of cards. We got a video going in the middle. It's going to take a second before you actually see what the deck looks like. We got to watch Dalton Wayne discover Santa Claus first. We were watching this demo video earlier. It was hilarious. Like, okay, so you got the box now.
It's
right?
so good. It's so funny.
Yeah. Natalia has this, I think it's a pretty consistent feel, the way that she designs her characters. I think, I might be totally off base here, but I think some of the other decks I've seen by her kind of have the same type of feel. But yeah, it's a great Christmas deck of cards that you can get a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, it's enter the promo code Coolbox Live at checkout. You'll get $7, like less than $7.50. So you even save a couple of cents off of that. I think I actually have one of these decks at home. I think I bought this back when they first came out. It's a nice deck. I mean, it's all the different artwork is really colorful and nice. It's a very pleasant deck to handle. With every deck that we put out, it is of the highest quality. This deck of cards, I often glaze over that because I just assume that everybody realizes that all the decks we put out are like of extreme quality. But this is no different. But it'd be a great gift, great Christmas gift, stocking stuffer. Oh yeah, like if you've got a friend who's a magician or a cardistry kid or anybody who's doing anything with cards, this is a great deck of cards to give them. It's an excellent stocking stuffer. If you enter the promo code Coolbox Live at checkout, you get 25% off. It's a nice deck. Pick one up for yourself. Pick one up for somebody else. I really like it. I think it's nice. I collect decks and I keep them. I've got them displayed around my house as art, and people ask me about them, so it's always nice. But let's move on.
Do it.
Oh, this is Coin Under Watch by Oz Perlman.
Too good. Too good.
And I gotta say, like I'm sort of becoming the in this stream as we do this. I'm becoming sort of the Oz Perlman
I might have to start taking the O's one. You're on the J team. I might have to be Team O's.
I'm Team Noblezada.
Switch it up here.
But I'm really enjoying diving back into these because when you get some of these older products, I know that it's very easy to look at something like this and go, oh, that looks kind of dated. It's not like 1080 or 4K or something like that. But what you're getting here is a magnificent coin under watch routine where Oz is going to teach you how to borrow a coin, vanish it, and put it back under make it reappear underneath somebody's watch. All the choreography is there. You get a bunch of different routines too, because what's really interesting is he teaches not just coin under watch. He's also going to teach you how to do signed card under watch and signed coin under watch. So you're getting a whole bunch of different routines here and just tons of performance footage. So you can see all kinds of different scenarios in which you would be doing this. And man, I gotta say, these are really well put together. Like this is some of the early days when they were like, when people were making Magic DVDs and they were like, well, let's put all of the possible information in there. This is, it's a considerable length. It's really good. It's also available as a download. If you enter the promo code Coolbox Live at checkout, you're going to get 25% off this. If you've ever wanted to get into Card Under Watch, which is such a great routine, this is the one to do.
It's crazy than that because this was already marked down from $20 look at the price on this.
No, is that less than $4?
That is less than $4 to learn Coin Under Watch.
I was certain this was going to be higher. I was like bigging it up a little bit because I thought it was going to be a little pricier because
normally it's $20, but I already saw that it was marked down, so you're going to save even more. I think it's already marked down to $5 right now.
That's crazy.
And then you're going to save another 25% on top of that. But look, I mean, we all know. I mean, I think if you have any, magic knowledge at all, I think you kind of know the method of Coin Under Watch, right?
Yeah.
That's part of. Part of the method is in the title, right? Almost, but learning it and learning how to do it and getting the confidence to go out and try it is a whole nother thing. Because that's what we're really talking about, right?
Yeah.
Is like these types of tricks that you just have to dive in.
Yeah, and
There's no other way to do it.
I do Card Under Watch, and I mess around with a couple of different routines. Actually, I use John Armstrong's routine a couple of times that he taught in one of his lectures, and it's a question I get a lot, which is like, how do you get into Card Under Watch, or how do you get into Coin Under Watch? And this is a great DVD to learn that, and to get it for less than $4, like that's nuts $4. That it's that cheap. I mean, like, I don't understand why it's this. Why it's this? Like, I know we're giving away like great deals and like helping people like get Magic more affordably, but that's insane. That's such a good price for that DVD, and there's a lot of value in that DVD.
Yeah, speaking of which, we are, this show, all we're doing is just kind of giving away great deals on magic tricks. So if you're out there watching it, please share the videos so all your other magic buddies can take advantage of the same stuff. We'd love to get some more people and hear some more feedback and talk about the tricks that you guys want to see.
Yeah, but, and also, like, keep in mind, like, we are live. I can't emphasize that enough. We're live right now. So if you've got questions, Nick is monitoring YouTube. I'm monitoring Facebook. We're happy to talk to you guys about this. I mean, we're here to give you guys, like, great deals on Magic and stuff, but Nick and I like talking about Magic. Like, literally, when we're done here, we're going to go back to the condo and talk about Magic for the rest of the night, because this is all we do anymore. So we want to talk to you guys about Magic. So if you guys have any questions about any of the products you've talked about tonight, or other questions about stuff going on at Penguin Magic, let us know in the chats, and we will talk. We'll talk to you about it. Nick,
this might be deal of the week, Eric. $3. Come on, man.
I know that we've got a huge deal coming up in a little bit, but
I forgot. Oh, we haven't even talked about that. Holy crap! The closer. Yeah. I mean, we should have led with that, but we haven't even brought up the menu. That's right. That's what we've been missing.
So I'm gonna bring up the menu real quick, but I think
you want to do it now, or when we're done with the downloads?
Well, I'm going to bring it up real quick so that people can see it. But what I want to tease, and the reason you need to stay to the end, or if you need to pop out, make sure you pop back in when we get to the deals of the week, because we have a product that you're going to save almost $75 on tonight, which is just
it's ridiculous. I don't even know how did we do this?
I don't know. But we're doing it. Let's just take a quick look here at the menu on over here tonight. We've already talked about Paul Gertner Live. We're going to talk about that more. We've already talked about the double thing. I just want to direct your attention to the bottom, and as soon as you guys look at it, I'm taking it away, because that's how the internet works. I think we're supposed to tease stuff. Is that am I interneting correctly?
I mean, when I was putting the show together today, Eric, I was like, man, the last deal tonight is so good that we should probably start the show with it, right? So that we'd have the most people watching and all that. But we'll have to talk about that at some other point. But man, the last deal of the show tonight is like crazy.
Yeah, let's move on to Drop Card by Chris Rollins.
Yeah, no doubt. Drop Card is a great effect by one of my favorite UK magicians, mentalist, Chris Rollins. What the effect is essentially, it's for two spectators. You have a deck of cards, it's spread out you dribble it on the table, and one of the spectators selects a card very freely. They look at the card and they remember it. Card gets put down on the table, the deck gets put down on the table, and everything gets shuffled. And it's like, we're not controlling cards or anything in this shuffle. The deck is spread on the table, and essentially it's pretty much out of your hands at this point. From here on out, you're going to see a lot of this in the video in the middle. The other spectator is going to find spectator A's card. And they do that through a process of elimination, where they point to a section on the spread, and they'll either eliminate the right or the left side. All of this is free choice. It's not like a, magician choice type of thing, till they get down to one card. So they're just eliminating down to one card, and the card that, you guessed it, the last card that is on the table, is the card that the spectator originally looked at. And you don't do anything, really. You just kind of navigate the waters for them. And it's got a great method, and this is a showpiece that Chris would use in his show. And he's also worked on it. There was a lot of the UK mentalist magician guys that were working on this same plot a while back. So this is really fleshed out, and you're getting like kind of like a really awesome, impossible miracle card trick.
Nick, does this use any gimmicks or anything like that, or is this something that Chris is going to get you into on the fly?
No, this is a good question because, like, basically, so on the drop down there, you can see that you can order it with cards. And I will say that I guess how would you make that choice? And honestly, I didn't read the ad copy to see. Is there any? Do you have it up there, Eric? Is there any like hint as to what it is? Because I would love to help everybody out here. And
no. Let me bring it up.
Find out what it says on there. Basically, the gimmick that's involved, there's no gimmick involved. There's just some extra cards involved. But if you're not the type of person that has a lot of cards laying around, you might not have what exactly you need.
Yeah,
so,
the ad copy is not putting it in there. It just says it's an ultra deceptive method with no moves and nothing to get busted on. I mean,
all right. So basically, like, then let me clear this up for you. Then, yeah.
Let's also like say this. The card version is $20. So if you enter the promo code Coolbox Live, you're going to get $5 off. The download version is 10. So if you put in the discount code, you're going to get it's going to be 7.
But so let me just see if it has the let me look at this again. Okay, no. Basically, if you're the type of person that like saves lots of decks of cards and you have like duplicates of cards laying around, you could probably do this without having to get the deck of cards. Okay, I don't want to reveal the method, but I do want to be honest with you that like if you have tons of cards laying around, you're not going to be getting some like cutting edge gimmick here. You're just going to be getting some extra cards. But if you don't have those cards laying around, then you can just get the deck.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair statement. That I mean, you're going to use this gimmick.
I'd rather you get it for $7 because the trick is amazing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So and it's also the type of thing. If you just got it for $7 and then you're like, oh, okay, now I know what I'm in for.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily, you can make the decision after you watch it whether or not you want to put the deck together. So because you don't need to order the specific drop card deck. That's what I'm saying. It's a very easy deck to make up on your own if you have stuff. So.
Let's move on, though. We're going to move on to Consolidation by David Regal. This is, I am really interested in this trick. Because as we've talked about, I'm a big Jay Noblezada fan. Now, this is a David Regal trick, but Jay Noblezada has a trick called $2 window where you fold up 2 $1 bills and then unfold them, and it's a $2 bill. It's really cool. I carried it on me for years. But this is really interesting because what David Regal has done here is he has created an effect where you have a $1 bill and you fold it up and you put quarters in, and when you unfold it, it's a $2 bill. So the premise being that you're consolidating the money, which is that's really clever and really interesting. I mean, because there's something. I mean, like $2 window was very cool from the perspective that like it made sense, like you were going forward, right? But like you were doing like a fancy bill switch, whereas like here, there's other elements involved because suddenly you're starting to put. Like you're starting to vanish quarters, but the quarters don't really vanish because they end up like increasing the value of the bill that you have in play, which is really interesting. Like this strikes me as something that like you would carry on you and that you would want to do this for people. And I can see it being something that like almost anyone can do. Like A, because the trick is easy, but B, because there's an old cliche in Magic where it's like, if everyone likes money, so you should do tricks with money because then everyone's going to be interested. But like this is very interesting from a lay people's perspective because you're not just making the bill increase. It's also like where the hell did those quarters go? I mean, there's something really cool about that.
And this is one where you can give the $2 bill away. Right?
Oh yeah, I believe that is correct. I think you could.
I think you're borrowing $1. I think you can borrow the $1.
Yeah.
And then you can do the trick, and then they have 2.
Yeah.
Right. So, and those $2 bill giveaway tricks are always awesome.
Oh yeah,
Because people save the $2 bill.
they really do. People may not save a signed $100 bill because $100 is too much to hang on to forever. They might save a signed 1 or a signed 20, but a $2 bill they're going to have for a long time.
Eric, I was disappointed. I did a show here the other night in the room that you're in, and there's a bill that gets borrowed at the top of the show, but I wanted to be very clear that it could be anybody's bill, and it doesn't matter the denomination. So we just do like a fun thing where the audience votes on what bill we're going to use.
Yeah.
And there was a guy that had a $2 bill. Now I'm fine with it because I'm prepared for anything. But there was a $2 bill. I'm like, oh great, this one's going to win. So by round of applause, do you want Robert's $2 bill? And everybody's like, yeah. Or by round of applause, do you want Dave's? I think it was a $5 bill, and I don't know why, but the $5 bill won, and I was very upset about it.
No, that is horse malarkey. It's awful. Just looking at the looking at the Facebook chat here. Magic Belay says he wants to hang out at the condo. Tell you what, Magic, if you can make your way to Salt Lake City this week, you can hang at the condo. And then also,
we got Dane. Go for it.
Yeah. Ling Lee commenting here in the Facebook chat. Not sure if this was discussed many times before, but I just wonder what got you guys into Magic in the first place. I got tricked into it, and I think you saw a David Blaine special.
It was really David Blaine for me. Yeah, he was doing the Street Magic special. Up until that point, I thought Magic was just David Copperfield stuff, which I didn't even know what a theater was. So it was when I saw David Blaine doing stuff on the street where I was like, hold up. First of all, I thought he was real. And second, if he wasn't real and it was something that I could learn, I needed to learn how to do it.
I think it's really important that everyone knows that Nick Locapo did not know what a theater was coming up, because as cool and suave as Nick is on the internets and all these videos and in the theaters he plays now, he's a Boston street rat at heart. I think that's really important to keep that in mind.
I'm wicked smart, yeah.
I was a juggler in a theater, and the owners of the theater were like, "You're a juggler, you probably know magic. There's our magic shop. Go sell magic tricks." And so I learned magic from a ventriloquist, which is why I do it weird. So, but we have to move on, Nick.
Well, let me say Dane H.
Oh, yeah.
On YouTube. He says, hey, from Salt Lake City as well. Dane, you have to come to Mystique Dining. What is wrong with you?
Why didn't
your family some gift cards for Christmas here? It's actually a great gift card thing going on here.
Yeah.
I think it's just like a doubling up type of thing. You get a gift card, you get a gift card type of thing. So it's a great gift if you want to take your family out for a great night out.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of if you want to take your family out for a great night out at the Mystique Dining Theater, they also have the parlor, the Prestige Parlor, which is where Nick is broadcasting
I can talk about it now.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because I think that like where I am is like that's like a full 5-course meal. But if you just want to come see some magic, have some drinks, and have a great time, I think everyone needs to check out the parlor, because they're similar shows. I think we both are doing the same show in each venue.
Well, first of all, he opened this during this whole mess,
which is wild,
of 2020.
Yeah,
and he opened it in, I believe he said 60 days, like from from start to finish. Here it is. And so what it is a proper stage here. I'm going to turn the camera like that to get that in the center, right?
Oh man, that's a gorgeous stage.
Oh no, the lights and everything are amazing in here. The sound is awesome. And then the rest of the room is more of like a kind of a bar feel, like kind of like a parlor feel. There's some amazing artwork back there of some of the legends of magic. I was kind of going through them the other day. I know Thurston is in the Cape. So from the Cape over, you got Thurston. I believe that's Wanda. The guy with the ring, I forget his name. Terry told me who he was, but I think he's a local magician that kind of showed Terry some things back in the day. There's Keller with his head off. Okido, or I think Okido might be over there. That might be Chung Ling Soo. There's all sorts of magic legends on the wall here. It's just a great room. It's a little bit less expensive than the Mystique Dining Room, because they're not giving you like a full meal or anything like that. They have appetizers, I believe, and specialty drinks and stuff. But you get to see, it was very much like the P3 Magic Theater out in Columbus, where it's like every week we're bringing in the best magicians in the world.
Yeah.
And that's the case here as well. Bob Sheets was just here. Paul Vigil performs here a bunch. He gets everybody. I know Bill Abbott was just out at Mystique Dining in Folsom before that one shut down again in California. But Yeah.
The
what a
absolute
great venue.
The absolute worst part of working this venue for guys like me and Nick is that we have to follow guys like Bob Sheets and Paul Vigil, which is just, I remember it was like the last time I did Folsom, I think Paul Vigil was there the week before me, and I was like, oh, okay. Paul's already destroyed everybody in Folsom. This is fine. This is...
Let's go. We're gonna call Bob Sheets out right now, man. I came in here, his whole card stab was all over the floor, man.
What?
Bob Sheets leaving a mess. He's leaving a mess.
Bob Sheets leaving his card stab everywhere? That's a shocker.
Everywhere.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I see a couple more people in the chat. Marty Murphy says, hey, Nick Licapo, and there's some hard eyes emojis around there. And Eric Smearton says, Paul was out here. Dang, I'm mad I missed that. I don't know that Paul was actually here recently, Eric, but I know that Paul does frequently perform at the Mystique Dining Theaters because I know he loves it here.
And Marty is my aunt, so hi, Aunt Martha.
And Tony Roberts Jr. is jumping here in the chat and says, what is your go-to coin trick? Nick, what's your go-to coin trick?
Man, double deception mostly. But lately I've been playing around with three fly with poker chips, so I'm going to call that a coin trick. But three fly, three styling by Lee Asher is the one that I've been doing.
Gotcha. My go-to has been a coins across that I teach in some of my live lectures. It's a three coins across. It's not a three fly. It's not up here. It's actually down in the hands. But I'll be honest with you, the go-to lately for me has been quarter pounder by R. Paul Wilson, which is a different coins across, but like it's something that's like fun and like offbeat and no one really sees it coming. And I really like some of the handling.
We can tease that, Eric. I think that's coming up on one of the shows really soon.
Oh, excellent. Well, let's talk.
It might even be next week. So.
Let's talk about this right here. This we got to get back to the show.
Yeah,
Nick.
keep going.
Let's talk about Tarbell 52 mental.
It's going to be a long one.
Nick, tell us about Tarbell 52.
Oh, is that what we're on?
Yeah.
Because we did know that. So Tarbell 52. Oh man. Okay. So, which one is? Oh yeah, mental and psychic mysteries, part 1. So first of all, this is $7 for a Tarbell lesson, and almost all of them. I mean, this is undervalue. All right, you're going to get so much value out of any Tarbell lesson. There's at least 5 to 7 effects on here, and there's 2 things I wanted to mention. One is the add a number, which is called Double Knockout by Hen Fetch. I've lectured on this trick for the last 5 years. It's something that I've done in shows when I can, and this is one that I've fooled so many magicians with. I actually taught it on my most recent Penguin Live lecture, number 2.
Yeah, you taught a really good virtual version of this, which is really nice.
Yeah, I was doing it virtually. Yeah.
Yeah, that particular add a number is something that I know you've put a lot of work in on, and I've seen you do it in a number of venues, and it just crushes. Like it's never anything that I never think of add a number when I'm looking to add a new trick to my show. But this is one of those add a numbers where I'm like, oh man, if I'm in the right position, like this is the way to do it. And the fact that you can do it virtually is even more of a mind blower.
Well, yeah, it's the cleanest method I've ever found. It's just basically say a number, add it up, and then that total you're already predicted, and there's no math involved or anything like that. It is the best method for add a number. That is on here, and then there's a variety of other great mental and psychic mysteries for you to explore. But the other one that's on here, I do miss the show that we used to do in Columbus, and especially when Dan was doing all the Tarbell stuff every week, because there's a trick on this download where, I mean, you'll see it in the clip. If you see Dan in a tent with a girl and driving in a car, basically what happened was in the show, Dan chose a spectator out of the crowd. He took her out, and then they drove to a tent that Dan set up by the railroad tracks. Not joking. There was a camera in the tent. There's a real camera in the tent that was feeding back to the theater. So while they were driving, I had to cover time, right? So I'm on stage. But what I'm doing is really collecting information from the audience, because the idea of the effect was Dan would be out in the woods with no electronics. He has a witness there. She's going to write down whatever thoughts he's getting. And basically what the whole effect was is that, the spectator reaches in their pocket and pulls out a bill. Dan tells him the serial number of that bill. He's not directly communicating back to the theater. He's just kind of like getting stuff from the ether or whatever. But man,
it's Dan Harlan doing magic in a tent next to a railroad track. I can't believe. I can't believe it. It's marked down already, and then you can get an additional 25% off if you enter the promo code Coolbox Live at checkout. You need to see Dan Harlan perform in a tent.
No, that's it. Because like look, there is a method here, right? You're going to learn about it. You're not going to do that routine, most likely not, right?
Oh no, I think it's performing in a tent is actually my go-to walk-around routine. That's just
right.
I just throw a pup tent at the cocktail hour and we go for it.
But we filmed so much crazy stuff like that in the Tarbell course, man. Like I can't even believe that that's a clip. We wanted to play it at the beginning of the show, but the whole thing is like a half hour long.
So instead, we went with Carnac, the questionable Joker. Oh man.
But great deal for the added number alone. There's other great material on there, and all the methods are super clever. The Tarbell course is a no-brainer, especially for $7. Enter Coolbox code. Enter the promo code Coolbox Live when you check out at penguinmagic.com.
Let's move on. We have this is I'm very excited to be talking about this one. This is it's Miracle Method. Actually, I think I know what happened. I was out of order there. Sorry, Nick. We can go.
No,
this is Color Changes by Jay Noblezada. I am very excited to talk about this one because, again, I'm a big Jay Noblezada fan. When you dive back into some of these early tapes, DVDs that are now available as downloads, Jay really put in a lot of the work. He's a really talented sleight of hand artist and a really gifted teacher. I'm very excited. As a matter of fact, we have a little bit of a surprise. We are working on getting Jay on this show, and I think sometime in December we might have Jay Noblezada join us on the show to talk about some stuff. So that's very exciting. We
have to look at we'll have to look at what products we have coming up by him.
Yeah, we do. Maybe we'll try and move some stuff around. I think it's worth talking to some people because it's very exciting. But this particular product is neat because this is all focusing on color changes, and there's a ton of different color changes on here. There's the shake change, the twirl change. It goes in depth on like the Erdnase color change, and then a whole bunch of other stuff as well. This is just like. Color changes are one of those things that I constantly finding myself wanting to learn more of. I know I'm working on a Tony Chang color change right now that is pretty crazy, but it's just I can always use another color change because color changes are great card reveals. If you do a multiple selection routine, I know Nick, you've put a lot of work in on multiple selection. And I know a couple of your reveals are color changes that are from this tape.
Yeah, for sure. And as I did hear that the great Di Vernon once said.
Are we really going to put those words in his mouth? This has got some stellar ad copy.
But it's on the back of the DVD case. Apparently, Vernon said that the color change has the strongest effect in card magic.
There's some.
I don't know. I'm not going to argue with him.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with the professor either. I think one of the big values in this is that Jay teaches some one-handed color changes, which those changes are few and far between. There's actually one that's been playing here between us in this video where he basically like shows you the front and back of the card, and then it changes, and then the card dips out of view for a little bit, but then it comes back into view. But then he like squares we're all magicians here, so we know sort of that he's maneuvering these cards around. But he's squaring all of those. He's changing them and squaring those cards all up in one hand, and it's really really pretty and well worth learning. But that's, this is a really solid product that, you can learn a whole bunch of different color changes. And right now it's 25% off. If you enter the promo code Coolbox Live at checkout, you're going to get 25% off of color changes from Jay Noblezada. Great teacher, great magic. I think, I really don't know what else to tell you other than it's a great deal and it's got some really great information.
Color changes, like false cuts and everything else. It's just great to have a solid library of a variety of stuff to use because you never know.
Yeah. Let's see if we can jump.
Well, we got one more, right? Yeah. Yep. One more before we change the lecture.
Yeah. This is Miracle Method by John Carey.
Yeah, up next is Miracle Method, like you said, John Carey. What this is a system to be able to predict any item that the spectator just thinks of. It uses a variety of just everyday objects. You're going to see John here at the table with like stuff like a coffee mug and a die and like a folded up bill, a coin purse. They're just like things that you might be carrying on you. And really what he's put together is a system so that you can have the spectator think of one of the objects, and then you just prove that you already knew what they would think of. And, when I say system, because this isn't just going to be, the spectator could name anything. So we are talking about some outs here, right? But what John has done, like everything John does, is really funnel it down to a solid, streamlined method, right? And that's it. And I love these tricks with everyday objects, because you really, it just feels a little bit more like off the cuff, right?
Yeah.
And John's a great teacher as well.
I do too. I think that this sort of one of my fondest memories at the Magic Castle is of a magician who basically laid out 35 different objects, and he had a prediction, and it was a ton of stuff, and the person named something and it was correctly predicted. And it was really interesting because it was just sort of ordinary everyday objects. Now, the magician, the prediction was a lighter, and his thing was sort of a joke, because what you sort of realized after watching it once was that basically everything on the table was a lighter, which was very, very funny. But the idea of being able to lay out a bunch of objects and let somebody think of anything is really strong, and that was what stuck with me from that, was that even if someone had just chosen the clearly plain lighter that was on the table, it would have been an amazing trick. But John has really taken that idea and run with it so that they can genuinely freely choose, which is, I mean, that's some of the strongest mentalism. I mean, that's like very direct mind reading. I think that might be like some of the most direct mind reading, now that I think about it.
And for somebody like me that got into card magic, and that's all I did for people was card tricks. Go back. I was just doing all the David Blaine stuff.
Yeah.
It became really important for me to find some tricks that, because people would ask me like, oh, do you do anything that's like not a card trick? Not because they didn't want to see card tricks. They were just genuinely curious.
Yeah.
And one of my go-to tricks was the free will plot, where I would borrow a phone and a wallet and a set of keys, and however they get arranged on the table, I would have a prediction for that. But like, man, I love that trick, but I wish I knew this trick. I wish I knew this trick, because it would have been even better.
Got a question here in the Facebook chat for you, Nick, from Mark DiTullio. Can it be done virtually?
Well, you would, yeah. I mean, you can do it virtually. It's just you have to have the items probably on your side. I get. Well, yeah, you couldn't have them assemble the items. No.
Yeah,
it would have to just be done on your side.
I think it's safe to say that with a lot of the stuff that we've talked about tonight, a lot of it could be done virtually. It's just that you would have to really put some thinking in, at least with something like this. Because the Luc Germain trick that we talked about earlier could also be done virtually, but you couldn't have this stuff on their side.
Yeah, it's a good question, because I can see the similarity between like some sort of like Max Maven type of thing that's happening on the table, where, eliminate the thing on the left. Or this isn't any of that, really. It's kind of just like, think of one, and then you show that you knew the whole time. There's some other process that may or may not be implemented here. It is a system, not a trick, right? So you're going to learn a lot more than just like how to get to the actual prediction.
Let's take a brief look here at the menu tonight. We obviously started off by talking about Paul Gertner and, of course, the double Charlier false cut. And then we got into some really, really interesting stuff. We got into Delirium by Oz Perlman, which is a fantastic transposition effect. We got into Coin Under... let's see. Coin Under Watch by Oz Perlman, which is just, I think everyone should learn that particular thing. LCJP by Luc Germain, which is a fantastic piece of mentalism using a deck of cards and a prediction. We've also got the Christmas deck, which is a really beautiful, fun holiday deck that I think everyone should check out. Hellefane by Dan Huffman, a super strong effect where you burn a hole in plastic and then are able to heal it. This is sorry. It's my computer is so far away and my screen is so small. Consolidation by David Regal, which is a really, really wonderful sort of everyday walk-around effect where you fold up a $1 bill, you put some quarters in it. When you unfold it, it is a $2 bill, and no one can see where the quarters have done. Miracle Method by John Carey, a really piece of direct mentalism that we just talked about. Then we also had in there Color Changes by Jay Noblezada, a wonderful, wonderful sort of encyclopedia, video encyclopedia of color changes. And then we had... what is else? else is this? Oh yeah, Tarbell 52 by Dan Harlan. Worth the price to just see Dan perform in a tent. Nick, those are some amazing downloads, but we need to get into the low price lectures. I am super excited to talk about these because the first one we are going to be talking about is Kevin James, actually. Let's see.
Yeah, Kevin James. So you getting the clip up there?
I'm putting the clip up right now. I had to change that slide.
Let me know the clip starts because the clip is an awesome one, and want to make sure that the people get a good look at this.
We got the clip up right now. We're actually seeing his costume change right there, which is just beautiful.
Yeah. Has he already changed?
Yeah, he's already changed. He's into Perrier with a twist. Perrier with a twist is so good.
He's going to be teaching all the stuff that he's really famous for here. Kevin, if you don't know who Kevin James is, he's one of the big stars on the Illusionist tour. Kevin's just toured the world as far as I know for the last 15, probably 20 years, probably longer, doing he's also the guy that you may have seen it where he's got the doctor act where he saws the person in half and then the lower half runs around and the upper half runs around. An amazing illusionist and an incredible magician. He's also responsible for the floating rose.
The floating rose is the one that we need to address because that's the one that I think a lot of people associate it with other performers, but it's really Kevin James is the one who has all of the work on that. Sure, yeah, and you're going to learn it on here. Floating Rose is just a masterpiece of magic, and I would assume you might probably call it a modern classic at this point. Yeah.
Copperfield performed it on television, but Kevin also does it. I've seen Kevin do it in the Illusionist show. Mm-hmm. So you'll learn that here. The Perrier with a twist, the card and balloon. The card and balloon, insane. Along with some of the bigger stuff, right? Again, he's the guy you want to learn from when it comes to things like that because he's the guy on the big stages doing the stuff, right? So you're going to learn a ton in this lecture and for a lower price.
Yeah.
So if you don't have it, you can enter the promo code Coolbox Live on penguinmagic.com when you check out with this in your checkout in your cart, and you're going to get a great lecture for $20 here.
Yeah, I mean it's a fantastic lecture. It's definitely worth the price. There's so many things on there. Perrier with a twist is one of my favorite routines out of that. I've seen Kevin do it live. It's so good. If you don't know what it is, it's a coin and bottle, but the bottom of the bottle falls off and he puts it back together. It's so good. And I think it was on my first exposure to it was on it was the Tony Hassini videos. Do you remember those? The International Magician Society tapes that you could get for $100.
Wild.
Yeah, it was this huge DVD set. Tony Hassini was had all these amazing magicians teaching stuff. But it was one of the first places I saw Perrier with a twist. And here he is teaching it with all the new nuances and everything like that. But it's such a really, really strong particular thing. But we have to move on to we're gonna go back one, and we're going to talk about Paul Gertner live. We teased this at the very top of the show. This is an excellent download. One of the things that we already talked about is that you're going to learn unshuffled on this, which is so good. This is not the version that Paul did on Fool Us with the extra double kicker ending, but essentially what unshuffled is you have a deck of cards that has a bunch of marks on the side like a barcode, and you talk about the deck being unshuffled. You're doing unshuffles, and as you do these shuffles, the words unshuffled begin to appear and then consolidate into a big word. And then a card that they have selected, I think pretty close to the beginning of the effect, then those words transform into, from the word unshuffled into a revelation of the playing card that they selected. It's a really, really, really strong trick. I mean, even if you're not doing the unshuffled kicker that Paul Gertner has out on the market, which I believe is also available at Penguin Magic, it is still a super, super good effect that will just kill lay audiences. And then the silver and steel routine. I have wanted to do Paul Gertner's ball bearings and copper cups for years. I've really, really wanted to do it, and you learn the work from him on this. He teaches you all the little audible subtleties. He teaches you how to get the loads in, how to perform the effect, how to understand how to use sound with it. It's just crazy. It's so good.
Yeah. This is the one that's got he eats the card on this one too, right? Is that one of the tricks?
Yes. Yeah, there's one where he like
remember that correctly?
Yeah, he like bites.
Takes a bite out of the deck.
Yeah, he takes a bite out of the deck, and then not only does he bite out the deck, but he also like removes a selected card with it. There's some very strong coin magic in this, and there's a really funny story in it where he talks about how the first time he got on Johnny Carson, because Paul Gertner did Johnny Carson 3 times, and he tells,
right?
Yeah, he tells a story about it. So he performs this effect that is essentially he's laying cards down, and it seems like it's a coin matrix where where a coin appears underneath each of these cards, and they move around, and then there's a jumbo coin at the end of it. And I'm going to go ahead and tip the method to you. You have to be able to palm 6 coins. And so he sent a letter to Johnny Carson trying to talk about this, because Johnny Carson was also a magician, and he was just saying, "Hey, Johnny, I wanted to talk to you about this thing, and here's a video of it, and I want to know what you think." And Johnny responded, "Well, first of all, Paul, I can't palm 6 coins," which was just such classic Carson. Very, very funny. But it's a great lecture full of some really wonderful magic stuff for all skill levels, some very, very difficult, some very, very easy, and some great stories, and also some really great business tips. If you're looking to get into the corporate market, there's a ton of stuff in there from that.
That's right. I remember all of that. Right. Did you have a clip of this, or?
No, I don't have a clip right now, unfortunately. Just because we're like working on the road right now, I wasn't able to get that together in time.
No, it's fine. I was just curious.
But we
didn't know if we were going to do a break in the middle.
I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm not able to break that up at the moment. But we're
it's fine.
Closing in on the end, and next time we do this show, maybe we can get Paul Gertner performing Silver and Steel on this. But
we did have the Mighty Pooter, Eric, Mighty Pooter.
Oh yeah.
Says, speaking of the Illusionist tour, we need to get Yu Ho Jin on for Penguin Live lecture, and I think that's an excellent idea.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably. We should probably. I'm probably sure we've probably reached out to him before. Obviously, he was very busy. He might not be so busy at the moment, so maybe that would be something. Where does he live?
I mean,
I'm assuming he doesn't live in America.
I don't know. Is he on their international tour, or is he on their Broadway show?
Well, I mean, I saw him in Texas.
Okay.
So
yeah, because they've got a couple of different troops that tour. There's like an international one. There's a national one.
Yeah. I bet he lives in L.A. or Vegas or something.
Yeah, I'd imagine that we could probably get him in.
Yeah.
We should try. But let's move on to the Scott Alexander and Dan Harlan Holiday Special number 4.
Oh, man, this one's madness.
We saw a clip of it at the top of the show.
Yeah, look, so we did 6 of these. So for the last 7 or 6 years, I can't even remember. I think the last one was in 2018. We did like this really crazy holiday special with Scott Alexander, where he would come and he would sing songs, and then it eventually morphed into, Dan Harlan would also sing songs and teach magic. And it's just kind of like this very chaotic, campy Christmas magic special. I mean, there's nothing else like these videos.
Yeah.
They're funny, especially if you know a lot of inside magic jokes and stuff. It's ridiculous. Now,
is this the one with Banana Check?
Banana Check is in this one. There are so many skits and songs and things. Banana Check is one of my favorite characters that Scott made. I also think, I believe it was this one. Eric, don't quote me on this one. But also, what's the name of Piff the Magic Dragon's older brother? Steve?
Steve. Yeah.
Steve the Magic Dragon makes an appearance, I believe, in this lecture as well.
Oh, that's so funny.
But that aside, there is every Scott Alexander and Dan Harlan lecture is loaded with amazing material. I think a lot of the times these lectures got judged based on the comedy value, but look, there is so much good magic in here. There's the 2 ones that I really loved in this. This one also, oh God, everything was in there. Scott taught a version of Silk to Apple, which is not a trick you'd think that you would end up doing until you see Scott do it.
Yeah.
Where silk vanishes and ends up in the core of an apple, basically. Harlan teaches his method for Think a Drink on here.
Oh, man.
Which is,
that's worth the price of a lecture.
It's a bottle, and then people just start naming, their favorite alcohol, and he starts. It's a pretty legendary trick, You just start pouring from the same bottle, and people try the alcohol, and it's all different. Any think a drink, any drink called for type of thing. Phenomenal.
Harlan's one of the guys with a lot of work in that. I know that there's like Carissa Hendricks wanted to travel with it, so she's got a version that she does in every show where she travels with it. Dan has messed around with impractical methods, super practical methods, classic methods, really off the wall stuff. But like I think this is the one that like he kind of decided like this is what he was going to do. Right?
Well, look, there's not a lot of work on this plot out there that's available.
Yeah.
And Dan's brilliant. Dan put this together. He had a set of parameters that he wanted. I mean, Dan's not out like doing this on the road, right?
Yeah.
So he's not like Carissa, who's like, I need to be, because there's a lot that goes into this type of effect, right?
Yeah.
You're dealing with liquids, number one. But I don't want to talk too much about it because there's so much you could talk about here. But this is a must-see. If you've ever had any interest in the Think and Drink plot, well, you have to see this because it is original thinking from Dan. So,
yeah, it's really, really worth it. But I think we might. Oh, nope. Let's move on to. Oops, sorry, here we go. Yeah, to the deals of the week. Nick, you want to start talking about the deals of the week?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask, Eric.
Inside the envelope?
All right. Well, I think it's worth everyone taking the time to hear about Gone from you, because I know that you put a lot of work on this trick. I mean, we filmed this for weeks and weeks and weeks.
And then maybe you like seal
Fun
it up.
trick. So, short and
This is the
simple,
only
signed
Trinidad
card
in the world that looks like this one, right? Because it's got your name
center
on
of the
it.
pack.
We're going to place it in the middle
Holding
of the
break,
deck.
so it literally goes into the middle of the pack. Sorry, let me take a step
Now, here's
back.
the thing.
You show an empty
Hold
envelope.
on to this the entire
You show
time,
another
right?
empty envelope.
I haven't come
You
near
put
it.
the envelope in the
Inside
envelope.
the envelope, we had
and
one
you
white
see empty
envelope, right? Inside of
Sign a
that
card.
envelope that you
It goes
looked at,
into the center
there is
of the
one
deck.
card, but inside this envelope,
You take the envelope back, you open the envelope, take out the envelope,
And it's
you
the
open
nine
that
hearts.
envelope, and the signed card is in.
No, it is. It's got Mike's name on it.
It's a miracle teleportation of the signed card.
Gone allows
and
you
the
to
thing that's
teleport
amazing
a
about it
signed
is the
card
method is,
inside a sealed envelope that your audience
It's like a work of art in itself,
Yeah.
like the way that this thing works.
Your spectators can select and
because
sign
like when you're behind
any
the scenes
card.
watching
That
this
card
thing,
is
you're
then
like,
lost
this
into
is
the
awesome.
center of the pack and shuffled.
It just does it for
Card
you.
then
It's
teleports
the whole
from the
whole
deck
contraption.
inside the envelope.
And I say
that
contraption,
the
it's not.
spectator
There's nothing like
examined.
crazy that you're
This
manipulating
special
here.
gimmick
It's just
will
going to do it for
invisibly
you.
carry and deliver the signed card
It's
inside the
for
envelope,
itself.
right in
The
front of your
method is
spectator's
interesting
face.
because
And what I love
it's
is
very
the
direct.
versatility of
I
this
think
gimmick.
is
Not only
it's
can you perform
shockingly
Gone
direct,
as a
and that's still
standalone
like
trick,
even me
but
saying
you
that
can
gives
easily
away
add it
nothing
as a new killer
to you
ending
when you're
to
watching
any
this.
signed
It's like,
card routine
I have
that
no
you
idea
already
how
do.
that card kind of.
Yeah,
Gone
now you
here
can do it.
All the special
You can
gimmicks
just do
you
it
need
like
to
that.
start
You can
performing
just do
right
the
away.
trick.
In the
Gone.
instructional
But
video,
this
we'll
also
teach you
will
exactly
play at
how
the
to
end of, like,
perform
an
it,
ambitious
along
card
with some
routine,
additional
right?
bonus tips
Because
and
the
ideas.
gimmick that you're going to have in the
This
deck, it's going to
is
come
Leo
with
Sings.
2 envelopes. Actually, it comes with 3 envelopes. One of them is just a spare. But the 2 envelopes can be totally examined. There's nothing crazy there. And then you have a gimmick that goes in your deck. And the gimmick is, it just looks like a card, right? So in some sense, because it's a little thicker, it is actually easier to, like use as a thick card or even control. It makes it even easier, right? But it doesn't disturb your deck in any other way other than it's just a thing in the cards. You can still do really any other card trick with it in your deck. And then whenever you want, super easy to get it to where you want it and then get that signed card inside an envelope somehow, which is crazy.
It's super good. I just got a note from the chat that we had the Gone audio playing over us, and sorry about that, guys. Some technical difficulties from being on the road and not having the usual stream computer that we're working with, but I think we got it fixed now. But yeah, it's a really, really great trick. I remember you just crushing with this, and it ends so clean too.
Yeah.
It's that's the frustrating thing is about how clean you end. It's really filming it was like super frustrating because I was like, oh man, I wish I could be doing that trick right now. I want to do that trick.
There's a clip in this video here at some point because I can't see it, so I don't know where we're exactly at in it. But you can even, I'm showing you the exact moves that you need to do. So you're going to get an idea, maybe just an idea of how this thing is going to work. And that's fine because if you can get a little bit of idea, you're going to understand how genius this
Yeah.
gimmick actually is.
Yeah, we actually just passed right over it, and
Okay.
if you were to like watch this clip as a VOD later on, you would be able to see exactly what Nick is talking about. But even then, like the gimmick is constructed in a way that just really facilitates this move happening, and it's so good.
Yeah, no, and it's just for a second, and you successfully got a signed card in an envelope.
Yeah, super good.
Right in front of the spectator's face. So, and you can save money on it tonight. And our promo code Coolbox Live on penguinmagic.com with Gone in your checkout thing, along with everything else on tonight's show.
It's super good. Nick, I think it is time for us to move on to this. I'm so happy that we're talking about this trick. I was wondering if this would show up. This is Gone Fishing by Roddy McGee. And I got to say, this is quite possibly the most amazing mad scientist method that I've ever come across. And this is one of those that I struggled for years. I was like, I really want to pull the trigger on this, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. I don't know if the gimmicks are going to like wear out or what happens if I lose it. And it's so good because none of those worries are there. Let's talk about what it is first though. You have a drinking glass and you draw a little fish on the drinking glass, and then you draw a little bowl around the fish, and you say, look, he's in a bowl. And then you literally, so here's the root beer that I've been drinking, the ginger beer, Jackson Hole Soda, is you tip it like this. So as I get in front of my mic, you tip it like this, and the liquid just gently brushes the fish. And then the fish passes through the glass and then floats on top of the water. And then you can take it out and you can vanish it. And then the fish vanishes and then reappears on a signed business card that you can give away. So I forgot to mention that at the top. You have a blank business card, you have somebody sign it, and then the fish appears on the business card after it melts through the glass and floats on the thing. And I know what you're thinking is you're going, I don't want to spend, what is this, $11? It's not even that expensive, right? I don't want to spend $11 on weird little decals that I got to stick anywhere. There's no decals in this. You're not getting dumb little stickers that you're going to be planting all over drinking glasses all over. The method is so good. And Roddy goes into a whole bunch of other different ways to use this method to make to make ink pass through a glass and then float on top of the water and then be able to instantly vanish it without a trace. It's so good. There's a little bit of setup, but Roddy goes into how to set it up. And I'm going to be doing this trick. Gone Fishing is amazing. It's so good. And you feel... I'll be honest, I was not supposed to work this weekend because it was Thanksgiving. It was supposed to holidays. I was supposed to be doing Zoom meetings with my family and my partner's family, and we were supposed to be having good, solid family time. But I was busy in the background grabbing any drinking glass I could and playing with the method because it was so fun. You could get this and you could, like, before the end of the evening, you could be doing this in your home. It's so good. Because I think it comes with, and I need to look this up, I think you get a gimmick in the mail. I think you get
I think they do. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I just want to confirm that. But, I mean, Nick, didn't you see Roddy do this at Blackpool?
Well, look, here's the difference between Roddy and every other, like, creator. I mean, there's a lot of great creators out there, but this is something that I always appreciate about Roddy's work. And that is, Roddy goes the extra mile in everything that he does.
Yeah.
A lot of people might stop at, wow, look, I figured out a way to make a fish that I draw in a cup float on the water, right? But it's that next step of the fish appearing on the business card that most people would never get to, which makes this it makes it a performance piece, right? The same goes with Frankendoe, right? Or Little Door or anything like that. In most cases, people would stop at like the cool thing that they created. Roddy turns it into an actual thing that you can perform. Look, he makes some of the best tricks that I've ever seen. My favorite stuff out there. I can't wait to talk about it more. This is the first time we've really even mentioned Roddy here, right?
Yeah, well, I think in the early days, back when we had the top 20, we talked about Frankendoe a little bit. We talked about Flight 101. We talked about a few other things.
Right.
I think what's also interesting about this is that Roddy teaches some other things, like the little man floating on it. He also teaches a cool thing where he like draws a circle and then it turns into a piece of glass that he pulls out. So he teaches you a whole bunch of different things. But this method of getting the ink to pass through, it looks So good. B, I just checked. The props are included in this, but I guarantee that most of you watching this right now have the prop you need at home. So when you buy this, enter the promo code Coolbox Live at checkout, get Gone Fishing for $11, and then we're going to ship you the gimmick, but you're going to watch the tutorial tonight, and you're going to go grab the prop out of your drawer and start doing it immediately. It's so good.
Yeah. It's a great trick. It's a great trick. I remember when this came out, a lot of people were really excited about the method. And so it feels like a trick that's going to have a disappointing method, right?
Yeah. No, I honestly, I didn't pull the trigger for years. I have looked at this trick over and over and over again, and I didn't because I thought it was dumb little stickers, and it's not dumb little stickers. I'm so excited to find out it's not dumb little stickers this time.
No.
Let's move on to Isabella 3.0 by Peter Turner.
Man, all right. Now we're talking about some powerful stuff, Eric. You want to start some?
We're here to talk about the power.
Out here. Yeah, yeah. This is real power. Peter Turner, and in my opinion, I mean, I've looked at a lot of Peter Turner's work. This is my favorite thing I've seen from Peter. I don't want to speak for Peter, but I would also probably think that this is probably one of the things he's most proud of. It's not just him that's gone into thinking about this. It's a lot of performers and creators that have helped him mold this over the years. So what is it? This is a propless piece of mentalism. So you're not doing anything. There's nothing written down. It's just communication. And through talking with somebody, you're going to ask them to think about their date of birth. And you're also going to ask them to think of a name. Okay. And then through a process, which we'll talk a little bit about, you're then going to be able to tell them their star sign. You're going to be able to tell them the month that they were born. You're going to be able to tell them the name that they were thinking of, and then you're going to be able to tell them the day they were born. I might have the order of those incorrect, but you're going to be able to reveal those 4 pieces of information just through a method of conversation. If you've studied any Peter Turner or like Michael Murray or Atlas Brookings, you're going to get a sense of the realm that you're going to be entering here. It's exciting stuff. I know when I first heard about some of the things that Atlas was working on, Atlas has an amazing book called Train Tracking, where it's hard to find because I think you only send a limited amount of them. But
yeah, I remember when Train Tracking came out and people were just like snapping it up left, right, and center, and you couldn't keep it on shelves. It was so good. But this is some very strong like propless mentalism. I think that propless mentalism gets a little bit of a bad name sometimes because I think there are some people who don't perform it correctly, or that it's sort of like, oh, you're just like taking stabs in the dark and taking credit. But I think that this Isabella, like Peter Turner, really helped move the goalpost forward in propless mentalism with Isabella 3.0 because it doesn't feel like a lot of other propless mentalism.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. This is at the top of the line of what we're talking about. The propless mentalism stuff has really it was just like we kind of went through a decade of like evolution in this. Because at first, I had a hard time with it, but this is where you want to be. Yeah. When you get this, first of all, it's $50, but you're going to save a lot on it because you're getting 25% off. So you're getting it for $25, right? So great deal. Not only are you getting the video instructions with Peter Turner, but you're also getting the manuscript, which is where all the real information is as well.
I can't emphasize enough like how important getting those manuscripts are for some of this stuff, because it's one thing when you're hearing like the video is great because you can see it in action, right? But also like having in black and white like scripting and all that stuff laid out makes learning things like this infinitely easier. Yeah, and
this stuff is not difficult. You just need to get it in your head. Once it's in there, you literally anytime, anywhere, you're ready to do a miracle, right? You don't need anything. You just need to be able to speak, I guess. So, unbelievable. This is the premier piece of propless mentalism. It has to be.
Yeah.
And this is a great chance for you to learn it at half the price.
Yeah, it's crazy cheap. Enter the promo code Coolbox Live at checkout, and you're going to get Isabella 3.0 for $37.46. I mean, that's a.
Is that right? Oh yeah, 25%. Yeah,
Yeah,
my
it's,
bad.
yeah, it's
Yep,
25.
yep.
It's 25% off. It's a great deal. 25% off if you enter the promo code Coolbox Live at checkout.
Killer deal.
Nick,
Killer deal.
let's move on to Cosmos Duo by Greg Rostami. This is really interesting because I had sort of heard about this for a while, and what you're getting here is a really well-made prop. It's a gimmick deck of cards that allows you to do an out-of-this-world that is extraordinarily fair. When I was watching some of the performances on this, I was like, I don't know what he's doing, but that seems too clean. Like there's I don't know if he's doing some switches or if there's some like tricky behavior or something like that. But no, I mean, it's just really that good. Like Greg Rostami did the work, and what you're getting is an excellent handling of a gimmick deck. I don't want to tell you what kind of a gimmick deck it is. I just wanted to let you know that it is an excellent handling of it. But in addition to that, you get he's got three or four other routines on this download that you're getting like a whole bunch. So like Cosmos Duo is like the marquee effect, but then he teaches you a bunch of other handlings that are like equally valid and super useful, and you get some really interesting like tips and tidbits that you could add to your own out of this world style routine. And out of this world, for anybody who's watching this who doesn't know, out of this world is a routine where the deck is shuffled, and then each card is presented to your audience member, and they are correctly able to divine whether the card is red or black. It was created by Paul Curry, and a lot of magicians have done a lot of work with it. I know, Nick, you have some work with it. I know I've got a lot of work with it. It probably is like Sean Dunn's favorite trick. I think Sean's got Sean's got so many different variations.
2,700 ways to do it.
Yeah. But I mean, it's really powerful. I have a small packet one that I do when I'm doing like walk around stuff, and people freak out. But Greg Rostami's is really, really good. It's just it's a really solid take on it.
I love Greg Rostami. He's one of my favorite people in Magic. Not only is he probably more well known for his app development these days. If you've never heard of Inject, or I believe he is also making Realist right now. Check those products out. They have nothing to do with Penguin, but I wouldn't tell you to go look at something if it wasn't great. Inject by Greg Rostami is a fantastic app that a lot of people have had a lot of success with.
Yeah.
What you don't know is that Greg is also a phenomenal card magician.
Yeah.
And his handling here of Cosmos Duo has fooled lots and lots and lots of people. This is, again, one of Brent Braun. When I would demo with Brent at the Penguin Magic booth, this is one of the things that he would do all the time. It's one of his favorite things to demo, and I would just watch him fool everybody with this.
I can see here in the Facebook chat, Eric Smearden saying it's a gimmick deck that probably all of us have, but the handling behind this is amazing. And yeah, that's true. Yeah. You are going to be getting a gimmick deck. You probably have a gimmick deck like this, but this is a gimmick deck that like once you use it, like you'll wear it out. Yeah. You'll need another one. It's worth it. I mean, even if you don't do the handling, like $18 for this gimmick deck and a routine is great.
Right. Like for the routine itself, the routine's worth even the list price at $25. Right?
Yeah.
Just for the actual routine, and even if you had the deck at home, it could still be that price. So you're almost getting the deck for free. Yeah. To be honest, because this is just I would do this at like the Magic Castle in the close-up room.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
It's that powerful. Out of this world is great as well. Some people probably would ask if they're out there. He did put out something called Cosmos.
It's
Cosmos 3. Cosmos 3. That's what it was called.
Yeah.
It's a totally different trick. That's more of like the deck. I can't exactly remember what the effect is because it's kind of like multi-layered, as in many different things happen. But it's not out of this world proper. Like this is.
Yeah, the Cosmos 3 deck is like there's more to it, and because you can do like oil and water style stuff with it too.
It's great. It's great. It's a fully gimmick deck, so it can't be like examined. Cosmos Duo is a gimmick deck, but can be examined. Yeah, totally.
Nick, we're moving on, and I'm very excited because those of you who've stuck around with us knew that we were teasing an amazing sale. And this is it. Are you ready to?
I'm proud of us.
Are you ready to share it?
Yeah, let's do it. This was the trick. I mean,
there it is. It's on the screen right now. Everyone can see it.
How did this happen? This is great. This is great. Yeah, thankfully neither one of us bought it because we were talking about buying it, right?
Yeah. No, we both bought mental die is what we did.
We did both buy a mental die, but we were hesitant to pull the trigger on mental dice.
I'm so tempted now.
Yeah, and now here it is for $75 off.
What is going on right now?
Yes. Yeah. So
25% off mental dice.
Right.
Why do we even have people viewing right now? Everyone should be over at Penguin getting this. That deal's insane.
Please share this video. This is a great deal on one of the best, maybe the best trick of the year, Eric. I mean, we talked about this effect ad nauseum on our other show.
Okay, screw it. I'm doing this. I'm doing this right now. So people may or may not know this, but you and I are both active members in Magic Discords, and I'm jumping into a Discord right now, and I'm telling them that this deal is there, and the only way to beat these Discord people to this is to go buy it now. So that's.
Yeah, I mean, I got to imagine there's a limit on these. We were not given any rules, but I can't imagine that we have a big stockpile of this. Listen, if you don't know what this is, I'll just go over it quick. You're going to get 3 dice. They're different colors, a red, a white, and a blue. These dice are Bluetooth electronic die. They look like regular dice. They can be examined by the spectator. There's nothing abnormal about these dice at all. Then you also are going to get a little LCD screen. That LCD screen, I know you can see it on the center of this video here, will display what number each die is displaying on the top, right? That little LCD screen, you can have it in your pocket, you can build it into a deck of cards, you can put it onto your table or in your case, but you're able to do miracles with this type of thing. Eric, I know that maybe Jane H is going to come out to your show this week. I don't know, kind of teasing him out there, but I think you've even got one of these die going in your show this week, right?
I do have one of these die going in my show this week. I got hipped to a very interesting use of it that I think is going to fool a lot of magicians, and so I'm one of the people who got hipped to this idea behind using mental dice in sort of an alternative way, and I'm really excited to play with it this week. I think I'm going to wreck some people who should know better.
Right.
By the way,
that is a great idea. Yeah.
I just put that link in the Discord, and I know that those are a bunch of dudes who are gonna go after it.
Would you put it in both? Should we shout them out? Do they need more members?
Yeah, I think they need more members. You know what? I'll do that right now. Let me do this. Let me copy that. So there's a couple different ones out there. Nick and I are both in. There's one called Deceptive Design and another one called The People's Palace of Prestidigitation. I don't know if we're supposed to talk about that, but
I don't know either. But well, we just did. So.
Yeah, we just did. Where's the? I got.
You got to have on. They're on Discord, which is a great chat platform, but great people in both of those groups. I just joined, and they've been very hospitable, asking great questions. And sorry, I haven't been part of the conversation. If any of you are watching the past couple of weeks, because I've just been working on my show. Yeah. But I will be back next week. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about mental dice, though, because I think something that we can't harp on enough is the packaging's amazing. That's the packaging that they like. It lights up and makes a noise when it comes out. So it's really good. But I think the other like marquee thing here to talk about, and I know we hammered this to death back when we were Top 20 Live, but inductive charging, so you don't have to send the dice back. You can charge the dice, like all of them on this little
wirelessly.
thing. Yeah, It's super good. The dice roll very fairly. They don't seem biased or anything like that. I have rolled these. I've got mental die, so I've got a white one, and I've rolled these dice with people, and they can't tell. They have no idea. It's an amazing product. And if you it says the Coolbox link on the site isn't working, we will look into that, Brandon Sheffield. There is a chance that something's going on, but we'll look into it if it's having an issue. Sometimes if there's
an issue, we'll get it resolved by the end of the night for sure.
And Brandon Sheffield says, "Help me out, guys." I see. No, this is not in reference to mental dice. This is in reference to This is in reference to the Paul Gertner lecture. Sorry, Brandon. The Coolbox link is not working because the Paul Gertner lecture is sold out because everyone found out about the crazy deal tonight and they grabbed it early. But
but you can still get it for 25% off, which is a great deal as well.
yeah.
So I mean, like we mentioned it before that people are getting hip to that. We're going to try to fix that so we have more of those available to everybody that watches this show on Sunday night.
Yeah, we need to figure that out because we really appreciate everybody watching this show. Please, let more people know about this show, because the more people who watch this and the more people who are engaging with us in the chat, the more we can do cool things like give away mental dice for $75 off.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I do think this deal is part because we have seen people taking advantage of some of these deals. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, we're able to make deals like this, which is beyond me. I don't make the decisions, but I'm happy to tell all of my Magic friends that you can get a phenomenal, one of the products of the year, period, for an incredible discount.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's amazing. Is there anything else that we need to talk about with Mental Dice? I know we've talked about it a lot. I think Nick and I are going to be wrapping up soon, but if you have any questions about Mental Dice specifically, because we both have played with them a lot, feel free to let us know in the chat. The one thing I will say is I own Mental Die, which is a different product. There's Mental Dice, which is the 3 that you can get the discount on right now. Mental Die is a single die, but it comes with a thumper. The thumper works with the Mental Dice. So if you pulled the trigger on Mental Die back when that came out because you wanted just the 1 die and the thumper, if you get this set, now you've got a more complete sort of dice. You got different things to deal with, right? So you got the LCD screen, you got the thumper, you can do all kinds of different stuff with it. So I think that's one thing that maybe doesn't get talked about a lot because they're sort of seen as 2 different products, but really they're complementary.
Yep. And I was mentioning to you earlier, I still want to put together awards show for this year, for the year of 2020, the crazy year of 2020, the best tricks that came out this year. I will start working on that soon, and this is going to be in the top category. For $300, and you're going to get 25% off of that. This will be the biggest deal that we give away this year. It just has to be, right?
I can't think of that.
So,
I mean, the Richard Osterlund deal may have been
that was pretty big, but was that 200? I think that was 200.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I think I think the discount was a little bit bigger because we were able to do some interesting things with that discount. So it may have been the dollar value may have been a little bit higher. Not quite sure, but they definitely competed. We've done some pretty big deals this year, and we've been super stoked about it.
But yeah, this is product of the year at a great rate. And this is definitely not going to happen again anytime soon. So,
and I think
we're about getting this trick. Now is the time. Pull the trigger.
So, and the only other thing I wanted to talk about with all this stuff is that all of the products that you've seen on the show tonight, I'm actually going to bring our menu up here. Everything you've seen that we have talked about tonight is on sale for 25% off through Friday at midnight of next week or this coming week. So if you have a question about any of these things, you can get if you want to wait or anything like that, or you want to pick and choose throughout the week, just anytime throughout the week, any of these products over here on the side of the screen, just enter the promo code Coolbox Live at checkout. You'll get 25% off. Let's talk a little bit about them again. Looks like we had there we go. This makes it a lot easier for me. We had Paul Gertner live, which was 25% off. It was in the Coolbox. A lot of people grabbed that today. Then we had the Double Charlier False Cut by Christopher Wheel. That one's free, so you should just go ahead and get it now. Delirium by Oz Perlman, a really wonderful transposition effect that can be done with props that you have in your own home. And it's a neat trick because one card on the table exchanges places with another card that's in a small packet of cards in your hand. Then we got Coin Under Watch starring Oz Perlman. The best way to get into doing Coin Under Watch and Card Under Watch. LJCP by Luc Germain is a wonderful prediction effect where you are also getting tuition on a basic piece of mentalism to take it to the next level by one of the modern masters, Luc Germain. The Christmas deck by Natalia Silvia. It's a beautiful deck of cards. Great gift for a magician if you're looking for a nice holiday themed deck, or if you just want a really, really well handling deck with a holiday theme to mess around with when you're playing euchre, canasta, or hearts or spades with your family this holiday season. We had Hellefane by Dan Huffman. Burn a hole in some plastic and then heal it back up visually. Consolidation by David Regal. Borrow a dollar bill, fold it up, put 4 quarters in it, unfold it. Suddenly those quarters are gone and you're holding a $2 bill. Drop Card by Chris Rollins, a beautiful piece of mentalism that is very direct with a deck of cards. Miracle Method by John Carney, really direct thought, revelations of a thought from a group of objects on the table using everyday objects. We just talked about Miracle Method. Tarbell 52, Mental and Psychic Mysteries Part 1. This is Dan Harlan performing in a tent by railroad tracks. If you don't own that, you're crazy. Color Changes, starring Jay Noblezada, one of the best visual encyclopedias on color changes. Then in the low price lectures, we've got the Scott Alexander and Dan Harlan Holiday Special for Alive. It's hysterical. The magic is great. There's some great inside baseball. And let me just tell you, Banana Check is one of my favorite puns that came out of that. We've got Paul Gertner live. You can learn Unshuffled and Silver and Steel, both routines that have been performed on Fool Us, as well as some beautiful coin and card routines and some really offbeat stuff that I would not have thought would have caught with Paul, but is really, really good. Kevin James live. Learn the best stage tricks from one of the best stage performers. The Coolbox Deals of the Week. Gone by Leo Xing. A card vanishes from a deck and reappears inside of an envelope that is inside of an envelope. Isabella 3. Probably the granddaddy, the grand poobah, the grand marshal, the grand master of propless mentalism effects. Then we've got Cosmos Duo by Greg Rostami. A wonderful, brilliant, extremely deceptive handling of the Out of This World effect with a gimmick deck that you probably already own, but the gimmick comes with it. Gone Fishing by Roddy McGee. I cannot stress this enough. It's not dumb little stickers. Ink visually melts through a glass and then floats on water before you make it vanish altogether. And then, quite possibly, the best deal we have put out all year, Mental Dice. 25% off Mental Dice until next Friday at midnight. That is insane. Nick, we do this every week. What are you going to buy?
Well, man, I mean, I'm supposed to buy Mental Dice, right?
I know. I mean, we have to buy Mental Dice.
That's the trick. If I needed to recommend something for somebody, look, Isabella 3 is something that I've picked up and tried to work on several times.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to be able to get that, you're getting an ebook and video supplementation with it, great deal. Isabella 3 for me is something that I would be really excited about getting.
For me, I got to be honest, I'm going to buy 2 things this week. One is Gone Fishing, just because the method floored me, and even if I don't perform it for real people, I will still continue to play with that method because it's amazing. But I think the one that's going to go into my work and walk around set is Consolidation by David Regal. I mean, that's a beautiful trick.
Yeah,
and
cool trick.
The $2 giveaway is the way to go.
Absolutely. And let's shout out the Mystique Dining Theater one more time.
Yeah.
While we're here, you got the brochure there.
Yeah, I got the brochure.
And Eric, it is right on the front there. It says, experience a 5-course dinner followed by 45 minutes of award-winning close-up magic by the best magicians in the world.
So I'm going to be, if you're anywhere near Salt Lake City, I'm going to be here this week. Nick is taking off in a couple of days. We're going to do some stuff around town, just doing some stuff, working on the next show. Just to give a heads up to you viewers, there's a pretty good chance we're going to be dark next week on this show. We'll try.
Yeah,
and
you
film.
think so?
Well,
what are you doing? Are you traveling?
I'm traveling, and the stream kind of doesn't happen without me.
Right, that's correct. Right. Well, maybe we just have to do it on Monday or something.
Yeah, I think we could do that. We might move the stream to Monday next week. Yeah, so we'll still have it, but it might not be on Sunday. What we'll do is we'll figure out exactly when it's going to be, and then we'll have Josh put it out there in social media. We'll make sure that you're aware of it on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the places where you can find out more information. And I'm sure Nick and I will post something on our own Facebook pages. But
for sure, we'll make it known.
Yeah, I think.
MystiqueDining.com. That's where you can see the schedule of who's showing up there. And I'm also in the parlor, the Prestige, which is the parlor, where it's more comfort food in here. It's a little cheaper to get in than the 5-course meal, and you get to experience the awesome stage and everything that that is over here.
Yep,
So
and
thank you to Terry for letting us film in your venue.
Yeah, and also if you're not in Salt Lake City, there is another one of these venues. There's another Mystique Dining in Folsom, California. Highly recommend if you can't get out to Salt
What a
Lake
cool
City.
town that is.
Oh
Yeah.
man, Folsom's
Yeah,
so much
Folsom's
fun.
cool.
Yeah, we
Yeah, super fun.
Nick and I plan to perform at both of these venues as much as humanly possible because we love these rooms. We like taking some of the magic that we talk about on this show and bringing them to these rooms to like really work them in. So it's a lot of fun.
And I have magicians do ask me this too, Eric, and it's just like it's okay to come to venues like this.
Yeah.
Sometimes people feel like they have to like ask me if it's okay to come to my show. I'm like, no, absolutely, you can come to my show. Especially this room in particular.
Yeah.
There's a great group of magicians that came in and saw my last show on Saturday night, and we had a lot of fun just hanging out and talking afterwards. So I think any magician that's working in here would love for any of you guys to come out and
I think that's something we just had Farrell Dillon in to do a really great lecture in there, and one of the things Farrell was lamenting was that Nick and I get to talk to magicians all the time because we have them coming through the studio, and a lot of these working magicians don't, and so a lot of working magicians like hanging out with other magicians because they're on the road working for regular people, so they don't see magicians very often. So yeah, anytime you see Nick or I anywhere, please come see our shows. We really would like to perform for people. So
and this is a great room to do it in as well. It's if you're anywhere near Salt Lake, you gotta come check this place out. There's a lot of great magic going on here.
all right, well, on behalf of myself and Nick and the Mystique Dining Theater, we will see you next time.